What? What's good? What's poppin', everybody? How you doing? I'm gonna do the YouTube intro. I'm gonna be like, "What's up, everybody? Today." No, I'm not doing that. Hope you guys have been good. It is hot as hell. It's Saturday, and yeah, it's been a minute. Kinda. I've been doing a lot of watercolor painting, which is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to practice more traditional stuff. I haven't practiced traditional stuff in such a long time. Since like 10 years ago maybe. Um I would work in pencils and inks, but then in terms of painting, like it's been a while, and I realized I wanted to do more, go back and learn basics. There's a lot for me to learn. I felt like when I was using digital, a lot of the tools is giving me a shortcut to get the result that I want. Not to say like it's gonna make my work automatically better or anything. It's mostly just convenience. Like I got Control Z, I could undo terrible layers, I could delete this, I could overwrite that. It was so convenient, and it's given me some bad habits, and also um, there's just some basic things that I just didn't understand. So I had to go back and really just slow down. And so the inking process of my other videos, it's what's really helped me to slow down. And then that inspired me to do more traditional stuff. So doing more gouache painting and watercolor painting, and following people like James Gurney and uh, Swash Gouache. I forgot his name. Mike Hernandez and stuff. Like it's been really cool. And then just seeing my friends just do their thing. And I realize the more as the years go by and AI is getting better, um, it's like digital is cool. I still do digital for work, but I want to go back and do and be more hands-on with stuff. So, I got my traditional things, I got my paints, I have this watercolor set. It's a Japanese one. It's really cool. Um, yeah, I've just been having a good time. Yes, it's frustrating, but I just dive right in. And the video, the way I'm approaching this is not by sketching with a pencil. I just try to sketch with the brush that I have. I have this like, what is this called? It's like a watercolor or a brush pen that has water in it. And that's been cool. Um, yeah, man, it's been fun. I like that I'm learning a lot, and I realize there's a lot of a knowledge gap in my fundamentals that I had to just go back and address. So it's been great. And also, I've been reading comics, right? This is my favorite comic artist right now. His name is Daniel Warren Johnson. I've been reading this comic called Do a Power Bomb. It's sick as hell, and I love his energy. Let me show you a panel real quick so you guys can get a taste of the flavor. Look at that boy, man. Look at that. God dog. God dog. It's about pro wrestling. And I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, watching WWF SmackDown versus Raw, or SmackDown. Yeah, it's been a good time. And I love this man's inking process. I love the way he works. And he has so much energy with his artwork. Like, look at this panel right here. Look at that, dude. That's so sick. Yeah. Every time, and he does action so well. Like, fight scenes, I think it's some of the best. He tries to capture the emotion. Like, look at this one. Like, the girl, it's a bit shiny. Let me see if I turn this away. Maybe like that. Okay. So like the girl does like a little somersault move, and then wow, right? It's inspirational. It's something that I. Oh yeah, look at this one too. That's a clothesline from a fucking orangutan, boy. That shit is sick. It's things like this that keeps me going. The more I think about like industry stuff, like I used to back in the day, it makes me feel like I'm just trying to get better for the sake of getting better without asking myself what really inspires me. So, yeah, it's been great. Daniel Warren Johnson, I buy most of his stuff. I haven't bought his art book yet, but yeah, I'm gonna reread this. I read this once. A quick story summary is about a woman who's a pro wrestler and she has a family. So she has a uncle, or she has a brother, an older brother, a husband, and a kid. And everything she does for her fans and her family. She's so cool. But tragedy strikes. I'm not going to spoil anything. Something happens, and yeah, I'm just going to put it at that. So it's really cool. Like the first that and the way how fast this comic moves, it's really quick. And the character designs, man. Look at this dude, right? His name is Cobra Sun. Okay, right here. He come walking into the ring, talking mad shit. He's like me. Yeah, you motherfuckers ain't shit. I'm destroying everybody. Right? Like, I love this guy. He's my favorite character. Not because he talks shit, but just because of who he is as a character. It turns out like he's not this like evil person or anything. Um, yeah, do a power bomb. Check it out, y'all. And then also, this is my watercolor progress. So it was like my first time doing watercolor since high school. Oh my goodness, look how terrible. I mean, there's some things I really enjoyed about this. I love that I could mix colors and layer them. That was like my first. I was just testing it out. I wasn't using reference, and then I slowly started to use a bit more reference. And I'm learning a lot about paper, how important that is. Somebody told me to get larger paper, and that's something that I already planned to do. What you guys are seeing now in the screen is these series of paintings. This felt a lot better. I'm more used to layering that way. And then this one, this is the back of the paper. It was getting really waxy, and I didn't like it because it wasn't absorbing water. So I just kept like layering and layering and layering. It was not good. And this one right here, I went to the figure drawing workshop hosted at my school. Um, these are like, I think 3-minute poses or something, 2-minute poses. I don't remember. And then this was a longer one. But yeah, I just went in and just started painting. So I've been having a lot of fun. So hope you guys have been good. And then also, I realized like what I'm learning working with watercolor is I'm approaching this like the way I would almost like I'm digital painting with like layers, or even when I used to use like concept markers. So this is like a marker. I use markers for this, like a Kuretake brush pen marker. I got it from the homie Edwin Yushiro. So I start with like lights, right? So I'll start with like a light value, and then I'll paint in darks. So watercolor kind of felt the same. It's just I feel like I don't have as much control. So that's making it hard. That's making it quite challenging. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Right? Look at my little furry dude. A closeted furry coming out. What do I say? Closeted furry, right? From the hood. Yeah, I got a little museum. I went to the museum. with students. We're painting stuff. Yeah, it's been a good time. It's a constant reminder of how much I need to practice and just be more consistent about things. The zombie dude. I was playing a lot of Resident Evil, and I'm just like, yeah, let me do a little something with that. So, yeah, that's been that. And what else? What else? Uh, yeah, pretty much that. I know there are some people in the comments that ask me like, how do you just find confidence to do it? And I still get stuck. I still feel like my brain gets a little frazzled when I just approach certain things. Um, Oftentimes it's because like I don't know how a piece is gonna look like. Versus like digital, I could make mistakes, right? Like I could sketch and paint on top of it. I could erase the layers. Hold on, excuse me. If it's noisy, it's my seat. Let me lean back. Okay. So yeah, I could just like chill in digital. Uh, yeah, you can chill a little bit. I could make mistakes, and I don't have to wait for paint to dry, which is why I stuck with digital for so long. But over time, I mean, even doing it back then, I just always felt like it just felt so smooth. Like there wasn't texture to things, right? Like in this piece that I'm doing, this is a study. Uh, I, it's not perfect. I get all these like weird edges and um, soft edges and like hard edges and parts that don't really look right with some of the painting. It's not like smooth. And I felt like that was what was missing in my digital work. So what I would do is I would add the texture later on, and it just didn't feel right to me. So I'm still learning, as always, but and plus like using the tablet, it just feels so smooth, especially Procreate. Like I don't like using that program. I feel like that it's mostly because of the the screen. I feel like I'm painting on glass. It's like I'm ice skating on glass, and it feels like glue at times. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's I still enjoy it. I try to learn it all. A program that I really like, an app that I really like, is Heavy Paint by Von Ling. There's a free version, and then there's a version that you can pay for. I love that program. You can just go straight to painting, and you're not, and all the brushes do crazy stuff. You could change the setting to have weird effects on the brushes. It's really cool. And what else? I'm gonna be. Have I been playing anything? Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. um, I've been grinding the battle pass so I could get my mythic. I love that game. Me and my lady, we love that game. That game is so good. It's okay. It went from this. Overwatch went from that game was shit. And I'm not talking about the gameplay. I'm talking about the chat, your team, not even the enemy team. I actually like it when the enemy team talks shit to me. I love that shit because now I feel like it's like wrestling. Like yeah, talk shit so I can whoop your ass, right? But then when your teammates are talking shit to you, and like maybe it's warranted, but bro, lock in, man. We about to lose the game. Why are you spending time chatting when you could be shooting or repositioning yourself? Okay. Anyways, so ever since we turned off comms, some of you guys might think, why would you turn off communications? You got to communicate. Look, 95% of the time, nobody has anything beneficial to say. And even if sometimes if they do, I don't know how to do it. I'm not that good at the game to be doing that shit. Somebody might say, hey, switch off this character because we need this. I don't know how to do that. It's like you tell me a strat that's gonna work, but I'm not good enough to do that strat anyways. So I turn off chat because 95% of the time, 99% of the time, people are either joking around, or they're flaming you. And that will get to your head when you're playing the game. All right? You can't let these motherfuckers like get to your head. You just got to block it out. So what better way to block it out than to block them out for real? Press that mute button. Hoe ass nigga. Bitch ass nyucka. Yeah. You lose talking privileges, ho. Anyways, so ever since then, oh my god, that this game, every time I play it, yeah, you get ups and downs when you lose. It's frustrating at times, but you just brush it off and you just get back into the next game. It's so much fun. I play it because it looks cool. I like the special moves. I like some of the team synergies. The characters are sick. The game is amazing. I understand that the hate is mostly because of Blizzard's decision making regarding that game. I think Overwatch is a amazing game, an amazing IP ran by a terrible company. But I don't know. It seems like their new team is turning things around, and it's no hate to the developers or the artists and the programmers. They're just doing their best to just make a good game. They're often held back by whatever business that Blizzard's trying to do. But I think it's great. I played Rivals here and there. I don't like it as much. I don't like it nearly as much. Um, but it's also something that I don't know too much about the game about for me to have a valid opinion. All I know is I really enjoy Overwatch. I really like the skin lines in Rivals. I like the animation in the menus, not so much in game. I felt like animation in the game feels a little lackluster. I'm like, wait, that's all he does? All right. But hey, it's cool. To each their own. And what else? Um, that's been that. I've been I've been chilling for the most part. I've been busy. I'm on break right now, but then work is coming in again for my other job. And oh man, I was hoping that I can have a break, but work is coming in, and hey, you got to do what you got to do. Um, yeah, it's already what, March. March is going crazy, and it's getting hot, which is why I'm wearing this. Normally, I would just wear like a big ass shirt, but it's way too hot. I'm not turning on my AC because I ain't trying to spend all that money. I do have a portable one in the living room, but not in here. I don't want to use it in here. And yeah, hope you guys have been good. One thing I want to say, also, hopefully, you guys are drawing along to this, listening to me yap. One thing I want to say is, as you guys are working, if you're drawing along, and if you ever feel like stuck, if you feel like you're having a blockage, ask yourself if that blockage is due to just a lot of complications in your life, because that will have an effect, right? Like if you're going through a severe depression, family or relationship issues, that's gonna have an effect. And I just want to say that if you are going through that, you have to address that for yourself so you can take time off to kind of refresh yourself. Um, it's really important. I know, especially now with hustle culture, they say, "Hey, you got to push through the pain," which I agree. Like you could do that. I remember when I went through a really hard time back in, it was like right before COVID. It was like a lot of things happening, and I just forced myself. I'm the type of person where if I'm going through a lot, I will actually, like, if let's say I'm going through a lot of like mental issues or heart issues or something, not physical, but more like just emotional problems, I will actually work harder. I will not use social media and just lock in and go back to what it is that I enjoy. And if anything, it helps me inform my work sometimes. So that's just me. But also, if I'm dealing with life and as a whole, in terms of just, let's say, social related things, relationship related things like friendship or work, and that can take a toll pretty easily. And when that happens, I don't want to do anything. Um, the last thing I want to do is art. If anything, what I want to do is just like not talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to like, except for my friends, like maybe my closest friends. But I will just stay in within my own domain and just not not really interact. Like I don't want to. Um, and I'm not an asshole. Like in terms of if somebody will say hi to me, I'm not gonna be like fuck you. Not like that. Um, but it's mostly like you guys all know that in life you just get people who try to press you or is trying to bring drama into your life, and it's one thing if they just need help, but it's another thing if they're just trying to sabotage you in some ways, or what's the other word? Or they just use you, right? Like you get people who just like use you for whatever reason. They just see a benefit. When they talk to you, it's less about like cooperation and and sharing experiences and more about how can I get something out of this person. And I don't get that until like later. So if that was to happen to me, I don't notice it until like later. And I'm like, whoa, that person was, they're not really being sincere. They just want something out of me. Um, and I hate that. Like, I hate that thing. I'm not perfect, right? But I'm never gonna just use people. I know that much about myself. I would never take advantage of someone's like kindness, or use somebody for my own benefit. Um, yeah, yeah. Hold on, I see a little thing here on my mouse. But yeah, when you're dealing with like social stuff like that, especially like at work, right? You get work and everybody has this mask on. Dude, I hate that shit, man. Especially when you're working in corporate. If my company sees this, they're probably gonna fire me. But oh shit, I better not, knock on wood. Don't want to manifest that. Um, I don't like that everybody has to walk around with like a like everything's so proper, and I don't know. It sounds like it sounds pretentious, right? Like I don't know. I feel like it feels very fake at times. Everybody who works at a job, no matter what job you have, there is a level of, I guess you can say it's supposed to be professional. And I always try to keep it professional. But there's always in some areas where you have people that you have to like, you gotta be like, you got the tie and suit, like, hello, good day. Um, like in my work messages, you got corporate speak. I'm sure you guys have seen that regarding in like TikTok and stuff. People talking about corporate speak. It just feels so. It feels so fake. It's hella fake, and I just wanna scream. Like the more I work, the more I realize I just wanna like do my own thing and sustain myself. That would be ideal. Not to say that I would never interact with people. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying like you can do your own thing, and if anything happens, it's not affecting anybody else except like you. You know, if some shit was to go down with my business, that's on me, right? Versus if some shit was to happen at your workplace, you know, that's on like everybody and the boss. And there's this weird, like, I call it social kung fu, where everybody's trying not to like step on each other's toes, and which I get. Like, there's a level of professionalism that you got to keep, but at the same time, there are things that just feel the other side. It just feels fake. Um, but hey, I used to work in a bakery as a delivery driver, like years and years ago. Um, and the guy who was training me was this like 50-year-old man who had like disability issues, and he told me you got to roll with the punches of life. And I take that with me everywhere, from like all the people that has taught me good things about life. Like, I've always taken their word for it and just applied myself to the best I can when I have terrible or like stressful situations. You got to roll with the punches, like, right? You got to do the bob and weave. Um, you bob and weave. You roll with the punches. You absorb the punches, and then you counter hit. You knock that motherfucker out. Nah. Um, yeah, you just gotta roll with the punches. That's what he always said that to me. Because that work environment was so like toxic that I was like, yo, what's with these people? Uh, and you know, not everybody. You just get everybody for the most part at this place is like okay, they're fine. But then when you have a higher up in leadership who is, you know, not all that great, you're like, whoa, what the hell do you do in this situation? You either leave or you, what he says, roll with the punches. And I just learned to roll with the punches. Um, I'm not the kind of person where I'm gonna like, if there's a problem, where I'm just gonna up and leave. But if I see like somebody's purposely being a terrible person, I remember this place I used to work at. The woman, she was our boss. Owner of this establishment was a woman, and she was great. But then, who she hired to be the leader of this other team, this lady was a terrible person. She was overtly racist, and I'm not saying this like she wasn't. I don't feel like she was racist to me, but I would see the way she would talk to the Mexican workers or the Latino workers, and she won't even say hi to them. Like, they'll say hi to her, and they'll say like hola, and then she doesn't say anything. But then to everybody else, like, she'll like people who are in higher positions, she'll say hi and chop it up. But then to the Mexican workers, she won't even say hi. And you know, I was just a delivery driver and also a little bit of a baker at the time. And I would come in and I always say hi, and she never says hi to me, um, until like I like just was up in her face. I said hello, and then she just said hello, but then she did it by looking away. She's like hello, but then everybody else, she's like hey, hey, hey. It's so weird, and I didn't think about it till later. And I was like, this lady's, are you like racist or something? What's going on? Um, I don't know. Maybe she was just nervous, but it didn't make sense. And that this place, it had a turnover rate. Like, everybody who worked here, they leave after like a couple of months. And I didn't know why until I started working there, and I was like, oh my god, this place is crazy. So I just stuck it out. I just stuck it out, until I realized like she was not respecting like boundaries, and I was like, yo, this is not cool. And then you can tell when somebody has a power trip, and she definitely had this type of attitude, like she feels like she needs to just have power over you. And I'm like, yo, chill, man. We're just trying to work. We're just trying to get things done. And you're going around asserting your dominance. Like she would treat the workers like that, just with such. It's not even authority. It was such like, it was so condescending, like and belittling. And she would do this purposely in front of other people. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? But then the other people in leadership, like I remember there was another woman there who was in one area that she was leading, and she was amazing. She was so like, she was straight. She knew what she wanted. She was stern about things, and she got shit done. Like, she was awesome. But I don't know. This other woman was like, I don't know. It was like a power trip or an ego thing. But yeah. Um. Anyways. Anyways. Yeah, man. You just gotta. You just gotta chill. You just gotta roll with the punches. One thing I want to talk about though, I've had a really good time hanging and talking, and anytime I talk to people, I love asking this question. I love asking whether people believe in UFOs or people believe in Bigfoot, because I love that topic, man. There's so much crazy shit that I don't know whether they're real or not. And I'm the kind of person that I believe all that shit. I'm skeptical. I know I'm contradicting myself. I'm very skeptical about things. But I cannot say what I mean by saying like I believe it. It's mostly saying like I just don't know. I don't know and I don't have the answer, and I'm never going to say when somebody says like they saw a UFO or they saw a ghost or they saw something. I'm never going to say like that was probably this. That's just your mom's fart or some bullshit. Like I'm not going to say that because I don't know. And I never liked it. I don't like it when people say, like, there's one thing to be skeptical, but it's another thing to be certain. You mean to tell me, with everything that goes on in this universe, that you know what it is? You know what it is? I don't know. I'm not going to be ignorant and fuck around and find out. Like, for example, like a haunted mansion or some cursed object. People say, don't touch that. You're going to get cursed. You're going to get some people that like mess with that. Me, I will say this. I will look at a cursed object and say, that's probably bullshit, but I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to fuck around and find out. I don't know. I don't know, man. I ain't messing around with that stuff. So, yeah, I'm not going to be ignorant to say that I have all the answers. Um, some people say like, no, I don't believe in aliens, and I go like, why? And they say, well, there's no evidence of this, and that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, what about other dimensions? What about the spiritual realm? Oh, I don't believe in the spiritual realm. Like, really? There's a lot of weird shit that happens in this world. There's so much weird things. And I understand why people who've had those types of experiences don't say anything about it because nobody believes them. Um, like I remember, okay, this is this is crazy. This is like it might not be crazy for most people, but this shit is crazy to me because I was the proxy of a person who've like experienced this. So I have a non-related brother, um, not non-blood related brother. He's one of my closest friends. We grew up together, and I've known him since ninth grade high school, and he's always had terrible nightmares about things in his room, and he had a big phobia of aliens, like a huge phobia. He would get cold sweats. He would wake up with nightmares, like the alien with the big eyes, the typical gray alien. And just to give some context to the kind of person he is, You guys don't. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is a liar. But he, my friend, is a terrible liar. He is almost like too honest, in my opinion. Um, he's the kind of person where, like, if he was in the middle of a desert and there was a stoplight and it was red, he would wait for that red to be green. Like, he's just like that. Um, he's just a very honest person, and he's a terrible liar. Every time we play social games, he's not good at lying. I've never seen him like say a lie in the game where I could like track back to what happened to see his logic regarding to how he did the lie. Like he's just very honest, or he just stays quiet. And his parents would tell me how he would wake up at night like screaming and crying when he was like a kid, like 8 years old, 7 years old, or even like younger. And he would go through like cold sweats, waking up screaming, um, and he's always had a phobia with aliens. So jump to 2000, I think it was 17 or 16. So he comes up to me and he says, Moish, I got photos of unidentified flying objects right above our house. We used to live in the same place in the same area, and it's by Mid City, Wilshire. So it's like if you're in LA, it's close to the Grove, um, right by the tar pits, right by the tar pits. So we used to live together, and he says, "Yeah, I took some photos. It was like right above our house." Um, and I have it on my phone and I want to show you. And in my head I'm thinking, no, you didn't see anything. That's how I think. I'm like, most UFO photos that people see are like blurry, or it's unclear, or it's really, really far away. He showed me on his phone. He had an Android. He showed me on his phone. He showed me 4 photos, and I remember distinctly of what it looked like, and it was so clear. It was a bit far away from our house, but it was so clear that I could see the bevel, like the details of this object. It was a triangular object, and it had bevel. It had bevel in it, and you could see the lights underneath, and you can see the beveling, like the depth of the light of the socket that it went into. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And he showed me another one that was like kind of elongated. And none of these were blurry, mind you. None of them were blurry. I was like, what the fuck is that? And I think 2 of them were like at night, but it was so clear. It was so strange. And all he did was this. He just went like, I don't know, man. It's something. It's probably the Air Force or something. But in distinct times, these were 3 different UFOs, but he showed me 4, and I thought that's weird. Again, mind you, I come into this thinking like it's some bullshit, like hey, whatever. But seeing this, it was clear as day as to this was not a normal looking craft. And I'm not saying like it's aliens or anything. I'm just saying this was like abnormal. And I saw it. I saw the pictures, and this was like before AI and stuff was like released to people. He's not good at Photoshop. He's not a video editor or nothing. And again, he's not a liar. So it might not be a UFO, but he took a picture of something. And that shit looked weird to me. So jump, I think it was like 2019. Jump a couple of years later. He says, Moshe, I need to talk to you. Something really weird happened to me. Um, and I said, what? He said, well, he had originally put the photos into his Google Drive. So he was trying to make space on his phone. So he took all the he has photos of his friends and family, and then he has a photo of the UFOs, and then he uploaded them to his Google Drive to keep him saved. He's told me like last week, the previous week, that um, he had tried to go through those photos to get some pictures, like family pictures. And then he went through the entirety of the photo and or the file. Everything was there except for those four UFO photos. And again, my friend is not a liar. You don't have to believe me. And people watching this might be like, whatever. But I know what I saw from those photos, and I know who my friend is as a person. Maybe not wholly. You never know. You know, people always surprise you. But I know for a fact, like, he's not a manipulator like this. He has nothing to gain. And he says, I don't know where those photos went. And I said, are you sure you didn't like misplace them? He says, no. One thing about my friend is that he remembers very well, like very clearly about details. And he said, I don't know where those went. It's just not there anymore. And I thought that was really weird. That was really strange. And he doesn't tell anybody about this. And he would still have like reoccurring nightmares. And it wasn't until like he married his wife, who practices um, um, I think she's from Mexico. I forgot where, but she practices spiritualism, like spiritual magic, and she did a little cleansing ritual, and she did the whole sage thing and cleansed them, and ever since then, like she told me, she says, Moish, my husband, he would still have these nightmares, and so I gave him a cleansing ritual, and then the nightmares stopped. Like she came to me and told me this. Like it wasn't him that told me. We were talking one day, and she said, like, yeah, like now he's better. And I don't know, man. That's weird. And I'm not like a religious person. Like I do practice and read and learn about spirituality and also other religions. And I actually take the word of scripture of different religions to heart sometimes. But I'm not like a super religious person where I'm going to church and I'm praying to God or something. It's not that, but like that. If that doesn't say something about the universe, I don't know. I don't know. There's too many unknowns in this universe. And I'm glad that he's good. He's cool now. But yeah. Yeah. I understand why people don't share their stories, because even me telling you as proxy, it you don't have an emotional connection to it. So most people will be like, whatever, it's probably nothing. But when you are the one, I can only imagine for my friend, like if you're the one experiencing something and you can't explain it because people weren't there, it's like people are just gonna dismiss you. Oh, another thing too is like he he told me, I remember it was like after the photos, he says, he said that he's had a couple of experiences where or one experience where literally a craft, it was about uh, 3 stories high above our neighborhood, it during the day, float over. He said that he was walking, it was on 8th Street and Curson. So he's walking, and then he heard like a low hum vibrational noise, and as it like flew over, it flew above him, um, and the his skin started to like vibrate, and then the hair started to like rise, and it went ooh. He told me it was like a weird buzzing noise, and then it just flew by. It just went like phew. And he looked across the street. There was another guy there. They made eye contact, and the guy across the street looked at him and went like, looked up, and then shrugged his shoulders. He just went like, and then that was it. That was it. Again, my friend is not a liar. He might be a piece of shit, but he's not a liar. No, I'm kidding. No, he ain't a liar. So again, I don't know what he experienced or what he saw, but he experienced something. It might not be the thing that we jump to conclusions about, but it was something, right? So yeah, yeah. I've never had any like paranormal experiences. I don't think I want to. I think if that stuff exists, which I believe they do, like I don't want to be a person to be experiencing those things. It just seems a person going through that deals with a lot of they're dealing with a lot emotionally and mentally. It seems like a very heavy thing um, to be chosen, I guess. I don't know. I believe like some people are more in tune to experience like paranormal things. Um, Especially women. I feel like women. Maybe it's because women are more in tune with their emotions that they have these paranormal experiences, or they're very sensitive to the spiritual. Um, that's always fascinating to me. But I don't envy anybody who has to go through that. Um, like maybe this is a story for another time, but I have a friend and she is from El Salvador, and if you guys know in South America, they have that whole place is like witchcraft. Um, Everybody is practicing something, especially the cartels. When you have that much negative energy of like murder and spell casting, like and trying to cast a curse and killing people and all that, it's just there's got to be some kind of energy that lingers on that becomes real. If it didn't exist before, it probably exists now. And she would tell me stories about that. And she's also like just very like in tune with things. Like she's her the thing is with her is that her dreams, like the things that she dreams about, eventually comes true. And she doesn't scam people. She's not the type of person that go around and tells people like, "Hey guys, look at me. I'm like the shit." She's so quiet about things, and she would tell me stuff, and I would freak out. Like what? But yeah, um, those are just some random thoughts. I'm gonna close this out here. Next time, I'm gonna tell more stories as usual. But hope you guys have been good. If you guys are working along, thank you. Thank you so much again for always commenting and tuning into my videos. If you stuck this long, you're a real one. And yeah, yeah. Hope you guys keep on going. I'm gonna be making more of these videos so you guys can paint along and draw along with me. And it's getting hot as hell. So stay cool, stay breezy, keep on working. I will catch you on the flip. I love you. Bye bye. Bye bye.